Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games. This is a weekly series in which I play games that you might enjoy playing daily. All right, we are starting with couples. So what we need to do is we need to fill out phrases in a chain. And the way it clues you is interesting. With greens and yellows, kind of similar to Wordle, but not really. Let's just go through it. So nose, I think this is going to be nose dive. I think we're going to have dive bar. And then bar what? Bar. I'm not immediately seeing that. What goes before alert? Red alert. So something red and bar something. Code. Code red, bar code. Okay, I think I just got it. Okay. Very nice and easy today. Nosedive, dive bar, barcode, code red, red alert. Nice. All right. What should we use? Let's use alert for Dordle. Alert. Ooh, we got a lot of info. The left has a little bit less info, so we're going to guess the left word. I'm going to put the R-A-E like this. Something like crave. How about crane? Ooh, we might be able to get the right word. Oh, it's just an L-A-E word, though. So what's the right word? Sorry, the left word doing? R-A something E? Or something A-R or something E? Ooh, like carve, but we can't do carve because there's no C. I'm going to guess parve. Oh. What is it? Parge? Parse? I'm not seeing it. Let's come back to that. What's this L-A-E word? I wish I could think of what it is, though. Oh, parse. I want that S. All right. No S on the right word. What's an L-A-E we can still do? Blame should work. Ooh, it's one of these BLA words. We have blade left. What do we have left? Can't do Blair. Blade. Blake? I don't think Blake. Blake's just a name. Blaze. So I think we're down to Blade and Blaze. So let's do Blaze because that's fun. Oh, Blade then. All right. Parse Blade. Blaze would have been more fun. All right, let's move on to Fibble. It starts us off with a door. There is one lie in every guess. So one of these colors is lying. I'm going to use the E at the end. I'm going to bring in the A. You know what? Let's do the O-E. Let's do that. Something like scone. All right, so we have a contradiction between these E's. That means there can't be an O in the word. Imagine if there was an O in the word. This would be lying and this would be lying. And now I wouldn't have a lie left for the E's because there's only one lie. There's exactly one lie per guess. So because one of these E's is lying, anything that agrees between these two has to be telling the truth. So I'm going to keep using the E at the end. That will be the lie for scone. So I would need to use the C with it somewhere. And then I need an A, D, or R. So I could do CR something something E. Like crime. Ooh, E is doubling down as gray. Okay. So if we look at a door versus crime, one of the E's is lying and one of the R's is lying. So if you're not, that's two lies. So if you're not an E or an R in those two words, you're telling the truth. Ooh, that's quite nice. Because now we know that there isn't a C in the word. Now we know there isn't an E in the word. And now we know there is an R in the word. All right. All of that worked out. So basically we have a bunch of grays and then MIR are yellow. What are we doing here, though? Rim. Mirth. Oh, wow. What's our lie, though? Is there like a something T? Or I don't know how this works. Oh no. What's our word? If MI is true, I gotta use the R because we know there's an R in the word. Maybe it's something like I can't use the E. Sorry, this is the lie. No, wait. That's the lie. Wait a minute. Hold on, did I mess this up? What's going on here? How did I... let's re-examine this. One of these E's is lying, one of these R's is lying. So ADO not in. And then IMC. So then that's a lie. So then that's the lie. So that's telling the truth. So that's the lie. So there's no R. Darn it. How did mirth work then? I thought mirth did not have a lie in crime. I don't have hard mode on. Darn it. We'll turn it back on for next time. So there's no R. So it lied again. Okay, that's good to know. So we have MI, and then we need this TH somewhere. Might. There we go. I completely misanalyzed it. I messed it up. Darn it. And that's even more confusing because I know people are already confused by this game, and then I messed it up, so it confused people even more. All right, sorry about that. Well, we got there eventually. Let's do Betweenle. We'll start with might. All right, we're 12% away from might. So does that put us in N or O? I'm thinking about starting with a really early O. What can I do? Oath, but that's not long enough. Maybe I should start with a late N instead. Nylon. Okay. Well, maybe we start with P then. Let's do like an early P, like pager. Okay. Wow. I'm not jumping nearly enough. Let's do an early A, like rainy. Okay. Between pager and rainy. Let's try a Q word just to see if it's Q or not. Quack, like a duck. All right. We do start with P. It's just later P. Let's try prime. All right. Poach. Did I go far enough? I went too far. So it must be a PRA or something. PRE. Press. What am I doing here? Could it be PO and then a late PO? Poppy? Oh, it is Poppy. Nice. All right, got there eventually. 9 guesses. Let's do word 500. Oh. Okay, so let's do word 500. I did word 500 as the bonus game in the daily video today for New York Times games. So I'm going to do the yellow difficulty daily today, which just doesn't have repeat letters. And we're going to start with I don't really want to start with Poppy, but we'll start with Poppy. All right. All red. Okay. That's probably the best possible result from Poppy. Let's do steel. 3 yellows in steel. All right. I'm going to bring in the vowels. I think maybe the L would be a good one in this case because we can do L, A, and then E. So we can do something like blaze. It came to mind for some reason. All right. I think we have the A and the E right. And then we just need an S or a T instead. We could start with S. No, we can't start with S. We could start with T. TR? Trace? Okay, so we would need to use the S then. So I think the option is ASE. Chase, but there's no C. Darn, I shouldn't have done trace then. I'm going to try chase here. Just because, even though there's no C. 2 greens and a yellow. Okay, so that would mean SAE. What does that? Oh, like usage? Just like usage. Okay, not a bad solve today. Cool. And if you want to watch the hard, you just have to watch my New York Times games video. I did it at the end of that one. All right, let's move on to Polygonle. So this letter is in it 3 times. Nothing else repeats. So I like the idea of like, honestly, I like the idea of an E here, but I was thinking like DED, SES. What could I do here? Like an A here, adored. That's not how you spell adored. That's adored. Adolded. Maybe I don't like DED. What if this was just an E? Something like Burmese? Isn't that? I would think that would be a U, huh? I kind of like this like R ESE type dealy. Okay, I'm gonna do a filler today with 7 letters. So let's do maidens. Puts the E in the S. Okay, so this is an E. I was right about that. There's an I somewhere. I would think this is the only place that I would work. So I might have been close. No S though. Could this be an R or? I think I need some consonants. So let's just guess poultry. There's an L and an R. These are E's. This is probably an I. Could it be like relieve? There we go. Okay. How many words do that? We've got 13 words. Baklava, believe, besiege, campana, deplete, madrasa, mandala, marsala, mascara, relieve, replete. So with the E's, we have believe, relieve, replete. But with the I, we just have believe and relieve. So it was believe and relieve only after maidens. All right, let's do the mini. I don't know why I thought of scoot, but why not? Okay, so sorry. No. Soppy? Why did I accept that one? Soggy. All right. Straightforward one today. Let's do Symble. We always start with Blaze and Symble. Okay, nothing from Blaze, so I do Toxin instead. All right, so let's say we start with T. Let's do like a TR. We could do Trust. Try that repeated T. Ooh, it's TRU, but we don't have a repeated T, so it's not truth. That was what immediately came to mind. Truck. All right. Maybe could have thought of truck instead of trust, but you know, it is what it is. All right, cool. I don't mind a 4 when Blaze gets nothing. Let's move on. The final game. Blind Fusele. Start with truck. This twist does not tell us what color the R, C, and K are, but we do know that there's an U in the middle. Now this twist, we have to put a vowel here and a vowel here. I think that's completely reasonable. Let's actually check this R. We know there's no T though. So what can I put here? I was thinking CR, PR, prude. Let's try prude. All right, so there wasn't actually an E there. So this is a U. So there's no R. We could try a CK. I don't know if there is a CK. A shuck, maybe? All right, so it turns out these were all gray. R, C, and K. Unfortunate. So far, we still just have this U. Now here we're not allowed to guess Q, R, T, Y, G, N. Doesn't mean they're not in the word. It just means we're not allowed to guess them. I could do something like fluff. All right, it was fluff today. Wow. I mean, it seemed dangerous, but like, what else was there? I don't know. It just seemed like bluff maybe would have been a much better guess, but if it was fluff, I wanted to get that in 4. All right, was I not? I was allowed to guess B. Okay. Yeah, cool. Well, I feel like the games went well today. Let me know how you did. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.